I now call the Second Deputy Speaker, the Honourable Member for Maranoa.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise today to highlight this government's incompetence in tackling the potential fatal disease, the Hendra virus. It comes almost firstly identified in the former member who spoke in his own electorate of Hendra in Brisbane. Hendra virus is a major problem in rural and regional areas. The potentially fatal virus is transmitted to horses by contaminated excretion from bats and flying foxes, and from horses to humans through infected tissue and secretions. This virus was first found in Hendra in Brisbane and is now spread across south and western Queensland as well as into northern New South Wales. Biosecurity Queensland has now quarantined a property at Mount Orford, 50 kilometres southwest of Brisbane. This marks the third contaminated outbreak of the bat-borne disease in Queensland and northern New South Wales in less than a week. A total of 23, no less than 23 people will wait weeks now before knowing whether they are infected with this virus, which has a 57% mortality rate amongst humans. The virus has killed 4 people in the last few years, 7 humans who have contracted the disease. Half of those were in fact veterinarians. During the last federal election, the Coalition committed to funding personal protection equipment for vets and their assistants at risk from Hendra virus infection. The kits would have cost about $100 each, and Labor has failed to match that commitment. We need to make these kits available also to private vets, because in the last 12 months there have been some 125 exclusion zones that have needed these kits to be used by veterinarians. 2, we need to fast-track the vaccine against Hendra virus. We need to make sure we can cut through the red tape so that this vaccine can be in the field and working to protect humans from this potentially deadly disease that is carried and spread by fruit bats. We also make it compulsory for horses to attend in gatherings such as gymkhanas, camptrials, parlocross, and also going to studs to be vaccinated when the vaccine is available, because this vaccine will protect, as I said earlier, humans from this potentially deadly disease. And fourthly, I say that the monoclonal antibodies that are need to be made available to those highly exposed to the Hendra virus. It can't just be in the case of Queensland right now that it's Queensland Health alone which decides which people will receive these antibodies. They need to include the people who are exposed and potential risk of dying in this decision-making process. Those people need to understand the potential risk of not having these monoclonal antibodies, and also the side effects. I say, Mr Deputy Speaker, this Labor government have got to put human life ahead of the bats. They've got to act quickly on this issue. There are people who will wait 4 to 6 weeks now as to whether they've got a death sentence or not, and it's time that this government put rural and regional areas ahead of some of the green agendas that they're running.
Expired.